Yo, what is up? This is DevineYGO, and gonna be giving a deck profile on my Gishki Spright deck. So, Gishki Spright is a deck that fell off very hard when Sprite Elf got banned, and a lot of people kind of just dropped the deck completely. I don't know why. I mean, I get it. Sprite Elf helped the deck a lot, but I still think the deck is still it's still able to keep up. It's not a bad deck at all. It's still fairly strong, to be honest. And honestly, what made me want to build this deck was the fact that Fire Kings is running around, and I was like, oh, you know, there's all this fire decks running around. Let me just build something water to, you know, quench out those flames. Actually, some decks that I've been playtesting against are actually a lot of Fire King, Manadium I've tested against, and honestly, going into playing against Manadium, it is a bit of a struggle. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So first off, for the rituals, we're only playing 2 copies of the Gishki Nerimanos. So Nerimanos is the best Gishki ritual monster in the game right now. I mean, Goose Kraken is pretty good, being able to hand loop your opponent. I know there's combos where you can completely hand rip your entire opponent's hand. I just prefer not to play that build. I've wanted to mix it in with this, but it's just not possible to get Nerimanos and Goose Kraken out on the field consistently. Or at least the way I want to build the board. It's not as consistent as I would like to. So I decided to just focus on the Nerimanos. It's the best one in general. And I wanted to make use of the trap card, Aqua Mirror Illusion. And Aqua Mirror Illusion, it only works well with Nerimanos because Illusion, being able to summon Nerimanos from your hand, Nerimanos can still be used for its monster negation. So that's why we're focusing on the Nerimanos. Next, we're playing triple copies of the Grimness. This is the starter for the Gishki deck. On summon, it lets you special summon a Gishki monster from your deck, but you can only declare attacks with rituals or ritual monsters until the end of this turn, which that effect does hurt if you're going second or trying to OTK. So yeah, if you're trying to go for game, try not to use Grimness effects if you can help it. But other than that, Grimness is a really good starter. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Gishki Abyss. I wanted to play 3, but I think 3 might be unnecessary. So I cut the 3rd one out to just make room for other stuff. And 2 Abyss has been working fine for me. I haven't had too much issues with it. The only time I have issues with it is if I draw both of them in my starting hand, which kind of sucks a lot. But on summon, it is a when this card is summoned though, so you do got to be careful with that. You can add 1 Gishki monster with 1,000 or less defense from your deck to your hand. And yeah, basically this just helps you search out your searchers. And you guys who play Gishkis or know Gishkis will know exactly what I'm talking about. Next, we're playing triple copies of Shadow. Discard this card to search a ritual or Gishki ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. And then we also play triple copies of the Vision. So we're only playing 2 ritual monsters to search off with Vision, but it's just having the 3rd Vision helps with the consistency of the combo. So yeah, I just play 3 Vision, 3 Shadow. Realistically, you could cut 1 Vision, but I prefer to have it again just for consistency. But regardless, even if you don't have a ritual monster in the deck to search off with Vision, Vision, Shadow, and the Grimness all share the same effects, where if you're gonna ritual summon, you can tribute Vision, Shadow, or Grimness by themselves as the entire tribute. So yeah, it's also really good ritual summoning fodder. And then onto the Sprite portion of the deck, we are playing triple blue, literally the best one. We play 2 jet, 1 red, and 1 carrot. I think this is just fairly standard, so I don't really see the need to explain. And then to end the monster lineup, I am playing triple Swap Frog. I know some people would disagree with this, but I personally like having access to Toad because Totally Awesome is still a nuisance of a card for your opponent to out or to bait out or get rid of. So I still like playing the Swap Frogs for the Totally Awesome. Literally, it's the only way we can make Totally Awesome in this deck. And honestly, getting Totally Awesome onto the field is actually not as difficult or as inconsistent as you may think. I've been able to get Totally Awesome out on my first turn very consistently. onto the spells. We're playing triple copies of the Focused Aqua Mirror. So Focused Aqua Mirror lets you add a Gishki monster from your deck to your hand, and that effect is not once per turn. It's not a hard once per turn, so if you have multiples of Focused Aqua Mirror, you can Aqua Mirror, search a Gishki monster, and then Aqua Mirror, search a Gishki monster, Aqua Mirror, search a Gishki monster, all in one turn. But it does have a once per turn effect where you can, or during your end phase, you can banish Focused Aqua Mirror from the graveyard to set a Aqua Mirror spell or trap from your deck to the field, which is pretty good. And something I've also realized is that Focused Aqua Mirror also is able to set from your graveyard as well. I'll be honest, I'm only just now noticing that or realizing that. So yeah, that's actually really cool, being able to reuse the Aqua Mirror illusion after you've used it. Next, for the ritual spells, I am playing 2 copies of the Aqua Mirror. Originally I was playing 1 because at first I didn't see the use of the second one, but on turn 3 or 4, if you went first, then it kind of comes up. Like, there's times where you do need the second one. I play 1 copy of the Necro Mirror. So I mainboard the 1 Necro Mirror just for that chance that we do, or that 50% chance that we do end up going second on turn 1. Or on game 1. And Necro Mirror helps break your opponent's board, because Necro Mirror allows you to ritual summon a Gishki ritual monster by attributing 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, but you do inflict damage to yourself equal to the attack of the ritual monster you summoned. So that is a little bit of a downside, but I mean, to be able to clear a monster off your opponent's board, I think it's worth it. And then for the last ritual spell we play, 1 copy of the Gishki Photo Mirror. Photo Mirror helps you just cheat out your ritual monsters, or your Neuromanus. That's really all it is here for. Even though if you use Photo Mirror to summon the Neuromanus, you are taking 5,000 damage, because you have to pay life equal to the level of the ritual summoned monster times 500. So, and Neuromanus is a level 10, so you're taking 5,000. So it does suck, because if you use Photo Mirror or Necro Mirror, you can't use either one. Like, you can only use one. You can't use both in the same game, which kind of sucks, unless your opponent like adds life to your life points or something. But yeah, because Necro Mirror, you'll be paying taking 3,000 damage, and then Photo Mirror, you'll be taking 5,000. So yeah, it's just not possible to use both in the same game. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Salvage. This is just, you target 2 monsters, or 2 water monsters with 1,500 or less attack in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This is just used to recycle your Shadow and your Vision to just keep adding. And then we play Triple Starter. So Starter just recently got off the ban list from semi-limited to unlimited, and I've been playtesting with 3. Honestly, I'm really liking it. It makes the combos more consistent, or it makes the deck more consistent, and it helps you play through more interruptions. And then I play 1 copy of Smashers. So Smashers is, honestly, before I was not a big fan of Smashers. I don't know why, but after playtesting with Smashers, I'm like, okay, this is a must. You need at least 1 in the deck of any Sprite deck, I feel, because it just helps so much. It deals with so many problematic cards. And for the Sprite cards, I was also debating about trying out the Gamma Burst, because I've seen Gamma Burst have a lot of success, and I was actually playing Gamma Burst in one of my Evil Twin builds, and I actually really liked Gamma Burst. But this deck is actually 41 cards right now, and I haven't playtested with Gamma Burst, and I don't know what to take out for Gamma Burst, or to just throw it in as and make it 42. But I just don't see the reason why to make it 42. But I don't know. I'm still debating about it. And then next, we're playing 2 copies of Triple Tactics. This is just, it's a good card going first or second. And then to end the spell lineup, I'm playing 2 copies of Prosperity. I was only able to get this card because of the rarity collection, and I'm sure most of us budget players, that's how we got the Prosperities. But yeah, Prosperity just helps with the consistency in this deck. I don't play 3 because the extra deck, well, we do go into it quite a bit. And then to end the main deck, it's the 1 copy of the Aqua Mirror Illusion. Special summon 1 Gishki ritual monster from your hand. It cannot attack and is returned to the hand during the end phase. So it's good with your Neuromanus. It's only good with the Neuromanus during your opponent's turn. You can activate Illusion, summon Neuromanus from your hand, and then that gives you a monster negate. Onto the extra deck. I'm playing one copy of Bujinki Ahashima. This is what helps us go into Toad. We play one IP, one copy of the Coral Anemone, one copy of Sprint. Sprint also helps us go into our Toad. One copy of Avermax. This is for the IP Avermax combo or line. Honestly, making Avermax in this deck is not as easy as I would like. I've actually been debating about taking Avermax out for something else. I just don't know what. So until I figure that out, Avermax is stuck in here. And then next I play one copy of the Zealantis. I mean, we're playing the Coral Anemone and we're playing a water deck. And then to end the monster lineup, I do play one copy of Goddess because Pearly is still a deck to respect. Especially that Nor. We don't really have a way to out the Nor. So yeah, having Goddess in here really helps. And that's it for the links. For the XCs, we have two copies of Gigantic Spright. I play one Totally Awesome because we can make it with the Swap Frogs, and again, it's fairly consistent to make, or fairly easy to make. We play one copy of the Ninja Shadow Mosquito. Helps with OTKs, also helps with going into Zeus. We play one Djinn Buster for just another form of interruption. One Downerd, the Zeus, and then we play one copy of Typhon. Helps going second. And that is it for the extra deck. The side deck, I actually do play two extra copies of the Necromirror in the side deck, and one copy of Aquamirror in the side deck. So if we're for sure going first, I would probably side out the Necromirror for the third Aquamirror. But if we're going second, I would take out the two Aquamirrors for the two Necromirrors. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and show a 3-card combo, which I know sounds very bad, but I promise you this combo is actually not as inconsistent as you think. There are actually many ways to open up this line. Focus Aquamirror, Sprite Blue, and Gishki Vision. So pretty much all you need is Focus Aquamirror or the, where the heck is he? Focus Aquamirror or the Grimness, Sprite Blue, Jet, Starter. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this works as well, having one of these three. And then instead of having specifically Vision, you can have the Shadow, the Photo Mirror, or Naramanas. So there's very many ways to actually go into this line. So with this hand, what we're going to do is activate the Focus Aquamirror. We're going to search out the Grimness. We're going to normal summon the Grimness. Grimness effects. We will special summon our copy of Gishki Abyss. And then since we have Vision, Abyss is going to search us our Shadow. And then from here, we're going to use the Abyss and the Grimness to go ahead and link into our copy of Sprint. Sprint's effects, we're going to dump the Swap Frog from the deck to the grave. And then we're going to go ahead and use Vision and the Shadow to search out the Naramanas off the Vision and the Photo Mirror off the Shadow. And then we're going to activate the Photo Mirror, paying 5,000 to special summon the Naramanas, or ritual summon the Naramanas. Naramanas effects, we're going to target the Swap Frog to special. Swap Frog's effect, we're going to dump another copy of the Swap Frog. And then we're going to use the blue to special summon itself. Blue's effect will search us a copy of Jet. And then we'll use Swap Frog's effect to add back to hand. Special the Jet. Jet's effects will add the Starter. And then with the Blue and Jet, we're going to go ahead and link off into our copy of Bujinki Ahashima. Ahashima's effects will summon the Swap Frog from hand and the Swap Frog from grave to to XC summon into our Totally Awesome. And then we're going to use the Sprint and the Ahashima to go into our copy of Gigantic. And we're going to use our Gigantic's effect. We're actually, because a lot of people forget about this, and I almost did just now, we're going to use Gigantic's effect to detach a Swap Frog from the Totally Awesome instead. And from here, it depends on what you want. You can summon a Abyss to search out a Grimness for follow-up, or search out a Shadow or another Vision whichever you want. But for this combo, or for this example, I'm going to summon out the red for another interruption. And then we're going to go ahead and activate the starter. We're going to pay 1,000 life points to special summon our copy of Carrot. And then this will be... Wait, this is not our end board. We use the Focus Aqua Mirror. So during our end phase, we're going to use the Aqua Mirror's effect, banishing it from the graveyard, to then allow us to set our copy of Aqua Mirror Illusion. And then we'll pass turn. And then during our opponent's standby phase, we'll use Toad's effect, detaching the swap, to then special summon our last copy of Swap Frog from the deck. And then our opponent's turn, we have a Carrot effect. We can tribute off the Swap Frog to negate a spell or trap. We can use red to tribute off the Carrot for a monster effect. We have Neremanas to bring back itself to the hand to negate a monster effect and shuffle it back to the deck, which is very, very powerful. We have Totally Awesome. We can tribute himself off as an Omni Negate and then set whatever card that we negated if we choose to. And then Toad's effects, we can add Grimness back for follow-up. And then we also still have the Aqua Mirror Illusion to special summon our Neremanas. And Neremanas is not a hard once per turn. It is a soft once per turn. So we can use Neremanas effect once again to negate another effect. So that was a total of 5 interruptions. And then let's say our opponent passes turn, we'll draw a card. It doesn't really matter what it is. We can normal summon the Grimness. Well, I guess it does depend on what this is. Okay, no. Because if it was the second Abyss, then we'd be a little screwed. We'll summon the Abyss. Or we would not be screwed, but we would have to take a different line. So Abyss, we'll search out the copy of Shadow. We'll use Shadow's effect to search out the Aqua Mirror. So this does prevent us from actually OTKing our opponent this turn, because we can only attack with ritual monsters this turn now. But by this point, it shouldn't matter. Your opponent probably used a lot of their resources to try and out your board. And if they didn't, then they're probably not going to be left with much to work with for their next turn. But anyways, we're going to use the Aqua Mirror, sending off or attributing the Grimness for the entire ritual summon. Summon the Neremanas. Neremanas effect will target the Toad to special. So now we have Toad back on field. We can use the Gigantic's effect, detach the Spring, special Blue, and Blue can search us the Jet, and then we can take the Abyss and the red to go into our copy of Mosquito. So going to Mosquito, even though we can't OTK our opponent this turn, Mosquito makes it a little bit more scarier for our opponent to spam monsters and to try and swing for game. And then we'll special summon the Jet. Jet's effects, we will search the Smashers, and then we will use Blue and Jet to go ahead into our copy of the Djinn Buster. And we're going to put it in defense mode, even though it has 0 defense. By this point, since we used the photo mirror, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the photo mirror, and we did use the starter, our life points will be very, very low. So we're going to put the Djinn Buster in defense, and even if our opponent decides to go to battle phase, or summon a monster, go to battle phase, wipe out the Djinn Buster, at least that still guarantees us another turn. And then we still have Smashers, we could set, swing for 3,000, and pass turn. And then during our opponent's next turn, they still have 3 negations to worry about, so yeah, I think this is still relatively fine. But yep, that is my Gishki Spright deck profile. It's what I've been working with fairly recently, for a little bit now. Yeah, the playtesting has been going actually pretty well. I haven't had too much issues. Like breaking boards hasn't been that big of an issue, especially with sighting. Going first hasn't really been an issue either if you get hand trapped. But yeah, that is my deck profile for Gishki Spright, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Like the video if you guys liked it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.